Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. As Roger already says, my name is Roger Ubags. I'm from the company van Aarsen. I'm area sales manager for Southeast Asia. For the people who don't know Van Aarsen, I would like to tell you a little bit. We are grounded in 1949 already. Last year we had a celebration of 75 years existence. We are in the south of the Netherlands, in the place called Paneel. We are a machine building factory from origin, and we build all the main machines what we use in a feed mill. So hammer mill, pallet mill, batch mixers, conveying equipment. We can deliver loose machines, but we also can deliver turnkey projects. We have our own automation. We can deliver the steel structure, cladding and everything. Let me see, we have a reference in 120 countries, and we have agents in more than 40 countries. As Roger already said, I would like to tell you something about split grinding. How is it about split grinding? We have smaller particle size and we have bigger particle size. Smaller particle size improve digestion for the animals, but bigger particle size increases the capacity of the hammer mill. So both sizes have benefits. We have different nutrients. So coarse grinding, normally we do it for the easy to digest ingredients, so-called carbohydrates, and the fine grinding we do for the proteins. You can do it easily with pre-grinding, I will tell later. Those combination will improve your feed conversion rate. So you can do the best for the proteins and the best for the carbohydrates. For example, the proteins, so the fine grinders, the soya products, the fish meal, sunflower, canola cake, and the carbohydrates are the wheat, corn, barley, sugar beet pulps. So it would be good if you could separate them. Separation can do easily when you use so-called pre-grinding. Pre-grinding is, I think, most used in Southeast Asia and Asia also. You do single grinding of the raw material, you transport it to the dosing silo, and the separate products you weigh in the weighing scale, and then you go to the mixer. You need a lot of silos when you do pre-grinding, because all the single raw material needs to have an extra silo, and also if you use a different screen size, you also need to have a separate silo. Then we have the post-grinding. That's the most used in Europe, I think. With post-grinding, you have dosing silos with all the raw materials, the macro ingredients so-called. You transport it to the dosing scale, you make the batch, so you weigh the recipe. Then you have the batch with all the macro ingredients, you transport it to the hammer mill, but you can only grind it in one size. You can only use one screen because you already mixed up the macro ingredients, and then you go to the mixer. What are we doing with split grinding? That's a combination of post and pre-grinding. You have dosing silos. You put all the macro ingredients in the dosing silos, but you first start with the proteins. Or you start with the carbohydrates, whatever you want. But you start with the proteins, you do it in the weighing scale, you go to the hammer mill, and you grind it in a certain dimension, in a certain screen dimension. Then you do it, transport it to the bin below the hammer mill. After that you do the carbohydrates. All the carbohydrates, do it in the weighing scale, transport it to the hammer mill. In between transport you can change the screen and grind the carbohydrates in a coarse dimension, in a bigger screen. So that's a combination between pre and split grinding, pre and post grinding. Yeah, that's what I already said. That's the best of both ways. So the carbohydrates, you do coarse grinding, corn, wheat, barley. The proteins, you will do fine grinding. But the only way how you can do that is when you have a screen exchange or automatic screen exchange in a hammer mill. Otherwise, it takes you too much time if you need to change the screen by hand. So here you can see in the flow diagram a little bit how it works. So as I already told, you have the proteins, you go to the weigher, you go to the hammer mill, you have sub-batch A, that's fine grinded, then you have the carbohydrates, you go to the hammer mill, you go to sub-batch B, and you coarse grind. So you use for batch A, you use a 2.5 screen, for example. It also can be another dimension. And for batch B, you use a 4.5 mm screen. What is the benefit of split grinding? One thing I said already, you need less dosing silos. For post grinding, you need less dosing silos than pre-grinding, so you can build a smaller tower. Yeah, it's more efficient. Let me see. Well, the amount of raw material. So you only have two types of coarse and fine. So the proteins and the carbohydrates. And I think the best benefit is smaller building. So you can build a smaller building, less silos. I have a movie from our automatic screen exchange. Let me see if it works. Yeah. So here you see our hammer mill. Next to the hammer mill are cassettes with 3 different screens. During the running of the hammer mill, you can exchange the screens. It takes approximately 1 minute. You don't need to have to stop the hammer mill. So during running, you can change the screen. So you can use 3 different types of screen. 1 type is in and 2 types are in the cassettes. So what's the benefit for the client? As I already said, feed conversion rate, that's very important. So produce better feed, produce more feed because it's efficient. You can do a lot of batches per hour, so you don't lose time. Less energy, because with the certain screen and a certain coarse and fine, the efficiency of the hammer mill is the best. Also a benefit is if you have our GD hammer mill, if you have it already in your factory and you have space of 3 meters height, you don't need more surface. You can add the automatic screen exchange after you put the hammer mill in the machine tower. So you can add the automatic screen exchange after you start with the GD hammer mill. So it's a small investment after you build the feed mill. And it's also a benefit because you can do it if you to choose for post grinding. You can put it after several years, and then you have a combination between post and pre-grinding. Okay, thank you all for listening. We are in hall number 7. That's the other side of the road. So all the people who are in this side, they need to cross the street, and please visit us in hall 7. Thank you for your attention.